Hello there, thank you for stopping by today's video. I'm guessing you've also had those moments when you look around your kitchen and just feel exhausted, not even sure where to start. Things pile up everywhere, each item saved for someday, but all they really do is make the space feel heavier. The truth is, what wears us down isn't just the mess, it's that creeping sense of losing control when stuff takes over both your home and your head. I've been there too, until I realized the answer wasn't cleaning harder, but simply owning less. In this video, I'll share 15 everyday categories you can let go of right now. And the very first one seems so ordinary, but once it's gone, you'll be surprised by how much lighter your home feels. Number 1, let's start with the tiny things that drive you crazy without you even realizing it. Those random strays, the so-called junk that keeps showing up everywhere. You know exactly what I mean. That one plastic lid that's been sitting in the drawer for months. The mystery key you're too scared to throw out, or the random screw you keep moving from counter to counter. They don't serve you, they haunt you. The truth is, these aren't maybe useful someday. They're stealing your energy right now. Every time you see them, you hesitate, you question yourself, and you waste a little more space in your head. One woman I worked with kept an entire just-in-case drawer. When she finally dumped it, almost everything was trash broken, bits expired, coupons, cables no one recognized. None of it had ever been useful, yet it had been draining her for years. Clearing these strays may feel like nothing, but it's the first powerful win. Because the moment you toss them, you take back control, your house feels lighter, and so do you. And if today's list doesn't cover the thing that's been bothering you most, don't worry, tomorrow I'll share more categories you can let go of, so stay tuned. Now, once you've cleared the random junk, the next thing to let go of is something even sneakier. It looks harmless, but it quietly weighs you down. Number 2, let's talk about old calendars and those stacks of papers that are way past their time. They hang on the wall long after the year has ended, or pile up in drawers because you thought you might need them later. But here's the truth. You're not going back to check what you were doing on March 12th, 2021. And that coupon that expired 6 months ago, it's not saving you money, it's stealing your space. I once visited a friend who had 3 years' worth of wall calendars stacked in a cupboard. She said it was for memories, but in reality, they were nothing but dusty reminders of time already gone. When she recycled them, she said it felt like finally closing chapters that had been left half open. Letting go of outdated papers and calendars isn't about being careless. It's about freeing yourself from the past, so your home can reflect the life you're living today. And since we're talking about things that quietly expire without us noticing, the next one might be hiding right in your kitchen cabinet. Let's move into the pantry for a minute, because this place is basically a museum of good intentions. You'll find spices that lost their flavor years ago, sauces you bought for one recipe and never touched again, and bags of pasta with exactly 7 pieces left. Here's the thing. Expired food isn't a backup plan. It's just guilt in a jar. That bottle of salad dressing from 2020 isn't suddenly going to reinvent itself, and no, keeping 3 jars of stale cinnamon won't make you a better baker. I once helped a friend clear her shelves, and we found 5 cans of soup. All expired, she said. Well, at least we're safe if there's ever a zombie apocalypse, as long as the zombies don't mind botulism. Tossing expired food doesn't mean you're wasteful. It means you're making space for what you'll actually use. Imagine opening your pantry and only seeing fresh, simple choices instead of ghosts of groceries past. That's real freedom. And since we're still in the kitchen, let's look at another helpful category that actually makes life harder. Next up, the chaos of food containers. You know the scene, a drawer that explodes every time you open it, stacks of plastic bottoms with no lids, or lids with no bottoms, like they're living completely separate lives. Here's what happens. Instead of saving you time, they make you dread leftovers. You stand there trying 3 different lids like it's a puzzle game you never signed up for, and in the end, you shove the food into whatever sort of fits. I once visited a cousin whose container cabinet was so unruly, she warned me, "Open it at your own risk." Sure enough, it was like a mini avalanche of Tupperware. After she finally tossed the odd pieces and kept just one matching set, she said it felt like she'd added a new shelf to her kitchen without remodeling. You don't need 100 containers. A small matching set with lids that actually close is more than enough. The rest? They're just plastic guilt taking up space. And speaking of everyday items that quietly multiply, wait until you hear what's sitting in most of our cupboards pretending to be essential. Here's a fun one. The mug and bottle collection that somehow breeds in your cupboards when you're not looking. You start with 2 favorites, then add a freebie from a work event, a world's best mom gift, and suddenly you've got 20 mugs for a 2-person household. The problem isn't that mugs are bad, it's that you only ever use the same 2 or 3. The rest just block the shelf, waiting for their one shining moment that never comes. And water bottles. Same story. You only carry the reliable one while the others sit there collecting dust. A friend of mine counted once. She had 11 mugs. Out of those, she admitted she only used 2. When she donated the extras, unloading the dishwasher actually became easier because suddenly every cup had a spot to go back to. Let's be honest, no guest is leaving your house thinking, well, the dinner was nice, but I wish she had offered me coffee in her 15th novelty mug. Keep your favorites, let the rest go. Every shelf you clear is one less daily annoyance. And while we're still in the territory of stuff we keep too much of, the next category can quietly mess with your health as well as your space. Now let's move out of the kitchen and into the bathroom drawer, the graveyard of old makeup and skincare. Lipsticks that turned dry and chalky lotions you opened 2 summers ago, or that fancy serum you swore would change your skin but gave up on after a week. The truth, if it's been sitting untouched for months, it's not part of your routine, it's just taking up space. And worse, expired products don't just clutter your shelves, they can actually irritate your skin. That luxury cream isn't so luxurious once it starts to smell off. I once talked to someone who had 3 bottles of foundation, all slightly the wrong shade, all expired. She kept them because maybe I'll mix them. Spoiler, she never did. Tossing them finally freed up her drawer and her morning routine. The same goes for old medicine. Expired painkillers or vitamins aren't helping anyone. In fact, they can be harmful. Keeping them around only adds another layer of stress every time you reach into the cabinet. By clearing out what doesn't serve you anymore, you're not just decluttering a drawer, you're making space for routines that actually care for you. And speaking of everyday items that wear out without us noticing, the next category might be hiding right inside your closet. Let's be honest, some fabrics in our homes have had a much longer career than they deserve. Single socks waiting for their partners to magically return from the laundry. Towels so thin they're practically see-through. Bed sheets with holes that you keep just in case of emergencies. Here's the reality, these items aren't comforting anymore. They're just reminding you every day that you're settling for less. And let's face it, if a socks partner hasn't shown up in 6 months, it's not coming back. It's time to let go. I remember visiting a friend who had an entire drawer dedicated to backup towels. The problem, half of them looked like they had survived a war. She admitted she hadn't used them in years, but she kept folding them anyway out of habit. When she finally cut them down to just a neat set of 10 laundry day, went from overwhelming to simple. The funny thing is, no guest has ever said, "Wow, I wish your guest towel had more holes in it." Old fabrics don't serve anyone. Fresh ones, even fewer in number, make every day feel lighter. And while we're already in the territory of clothes and fabrics, let's step right into the closet for the next category. Closets are tricky. They hold not just clothes, but all kinds of what-ifs. Jeans that haven't fit for 3 years, but you keep for someday. Shoes with broken heels you swear you'll repair. A dress that still has the tags on it because you're waiting for the perfect occasion. Here's the truth. If an item makes you feel guilty every time you see it, it doesn't belong in your daily space. Clothes are meant to serve you now, not shame you about the past or pressure you about the future. I once met a woman who kept a whole section of her closet for goal clothes. She thought they would motivate her. Instead, every morning they reminded her of what she wasn't. When she finally donated them, she told me she felt like she could breathe inside her own bedroom again. And the shoes, if they've been sitting broken for over a year, let's be real. They're not getting fixed. They're just clutter dressed up as potential. A smaller wardrobe of pieces that fit and work for you today is worth more than a closet full of maybes. And speaking of things we keep just in case, let's head back to the living room for a pile that's probably been haunting you too. You know that tote bag from a conference 5 years ago? Or the stack of free t-shirts you swore you'd wear as pajamas but never touched? Freebies sneak into our homes like uninvited guests and then refuse to leave. The same goes for paper clutter flyers stuffed into drawers. Old magazines you thought you'd get around to reading receipts, so faded you can't even tell what you bought. Let's be honest, none of these are serving you. I once helped someone clean out her freebie box. We found 6 water bottles, 4 stress balls, and enough pens to supply a small office. She laughed and said, "It looks like I've been running a side business without even knowing it." When she finally donated and recycled them, she felt like her living room doubled in size. Here's the thing, free doesn't mean valuable. And that magazine from 2019, if you haven't read it by now, you're not going to. Clearing out freebies and outdated papers like shutting the door on clutter that never asked for permission to enter in the first place. And while we're on the subject of things we hold on to, just in case, wait until you see what's been lurking in your tech drawer. Let's be honest, we all have that one drawer that looks like a tech graveyard. Random charging cables, old phone chargers that fit nothing you currently own, and maybe even a manual for a DVD player you don't even have anymore. We tell ourselves, better keep it just in case. But in case of what? That Nokia from 2005 suddenly comes back to life. That instruction booklet magically becomes collectible. I once saw a friend pull out an entire shoebox of cables. When I asked what they were for, she shrugged and said, "I don't know, but I feel guilty throwing them out. That's not tech storage, that's emotional clutter." If you can't name the device it belongs to, it's not a useful cable. It's a piece of plastic taking up real estate in your home. Toss it, recycle it, and enjoy opening that drawer without the avalanche of wires. The funny part, once you clear it, you'll realize you only ever use 1 or 2 cords anyway. And speaking of things that once felt important but are now just sitting there, let's move on to something even bigger that might be hiding in your home. If you have kids, you already know this one. Toys have a way of multiplying, and just as quickly they break, lose pieces, or get abandoned in a corner. A car missing 2 wheels, a puzzle with half the pieces gone, or that doll whose arm fell off months ago. We tell ourselves the kids might still play with it, but the truth is they've already moved on. Children aren't attached to broken toys the way we think we are. We're the ones holding on to the guilt of letting it go. I once helped a mom sort her kids' playroom. She found an entire bin of toy parts, mismatched blocks, half a board game, action figures missing heads. Her son peeked in and said, "Why are we keeping all the trash?" That one sentence was enough to give her permission to finally clear it. The funny thing, once the broken stuff was gone, her kids actually played more with the toys that were left because they could finally see and enjoy them. Clearing broken toys isn't about taking away fun. It's about giving your children space to imagine instead of tripping over clutter. And while toys shrink down to tiny pieces, the next category is the opposite, bulky items that take up way too much space for the little value they bring. Now let's talk about the big stuff, old electronics. That printer you haven't used in 3 years, the laptop that doesn't even turn on, or the TV sitting in the garage just in case you need it someday. Here's the reality, they're not safety nets, they're anchors. You're not gonna revive that broken blender and keeping it doesn't make it useful. It just makes you the unwilling manager of an electronic junkyard. I knew a family who kept 3 broken vacuums in their basement. When I asked why, they said, "Well, maybe we can use parts from one to fix another." 3 years later, all 3 were still sitting there untouched, taking up valuable space that could have been storage for things they actually needed. The truth, if an electronic hasn't been used in over a year, it's not coming back into your life. Recycling or donating it is not wasteful. It's giving yourself back control of your home. Imagine walking into a room and not seeing that giant unused monitor staring at you, reminding you of money spent. That's when your home starts feeling lighter, and your mind does too. And while bulky items are easy to spot, the next category is sneakier. It hides under the sink and in closets, quietly losing its power while you're not looking. Here's a sneaky one. Most people don't even think about cleaning supplies that are way past their expiration date. Yes, cleaners expire. That spray under the sink from 5 years ago, it's not disinfecting anything anymore. At best, it's just colored water taking up space. We often hold on to them because they're still half full. But the truth is, expired cleaning products don't just stop working, some actually turn unstable. That bleach bottle from forever ago, it's not making your house safer, it's making your storage smell like a chemistry lab. I once helped someone declutter her laundry room, and we found 6 half-used bottles of the same glass cleaner. 2 of them were older than her youngest child. She laughed and said, "So, I've basically been polishing my windows with nostalgia." When you toss expired cleaners and keep just 1 or 2 fresh ones, suddenly your cabinet looks organized and you actually know what works. No more bending down and digging through a rainbow of bottles just to find the one spray you trust. And since we're already talking about things we hold on to for sentimental reasons, the next category might hit a little closer to the heart. This one can feel tough. The box of greeting cards, birthday notes, and holiday letters that you've kept for years. Some are sweet reminders of people you love, but let's be honest, not every single one needs to stay forever. The truth is, a card with only a printed message and a quick "Happy Holidays" scribbled inside doesn't carry the same weight as the heartfelt note your best friend wrote when you graduated, or the letter from your grandmother you still treasure. I once worked with someone who had an entire shoebox filled with every single card she'd ever received, from wedding invitations to store-bought holiday cards. When she went through them, she realized only a handful truly made her smile. The rest, they were just paper quietly making her feel guilty for letting go. Here's the shift. Keep the ones that make your heart warm every time you see them. The others can go, and with them, the invisible pressure of storing every piece of paper anyone ever handed you. Decluttering cards isn't about erasing memories, it's about making the real ones stand out even more. And with that principle in mind, the final category isn't about one single item, it's about the rule that will keep all of this from piling up again. And finally, here's the principle that ties everything together, the space limit rule. Instead of asking, "Do I want to keep this?" flip the question to, "Do I have the space for this?" Because the truth is, space is the ultimate boundary. If your mug shelf only fits 8 cups, then that's the number you keep. If your closet can comfortably hold 20 hangers, then you don't own 30 outfits. The rule isn't meant to punish you, it's meant to protect you from drowning in stuff. I knew someone who kept buying new kitchen gadgets, even though her cabinets were already overflowing. When she finally decided, one shelf, that's it, she realized she only needed a few tools she actually used. The rest, donated. Suddenly, her kitchen worked for her instead of against her. This rule is simple but powerful. Let your space set the limit, not your emotions, not what if, and definitely not guilt. When you respect the size of your home, you make room not just for things, but for peace. And now that we've gone through all 15 categories, let's wrap it up with a reminder of what really matters in this whole decluttering journey. So there you have it. 15 simple but powerful categories to let go of. None of them require a massive clean out, just small, quiet decisions that make your home lighter piece by piece. If you've been feeling overwhelmed, remember this. Decluttering isn't about perfection. It's about creating a space that supports you instead of draining you. Even letting go of one small item today is a step toward that. And if you'd like to keep going, I have another video where I break down decluttering room by room. It might be exactly what you need for your next step. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because you deserve a home that feels easy to live in every single day.